The good life, full of fun, seems.
Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. Another big exciting day in my kitchen. What are we making? We're gonna take a trip down memory lane. When I was a kid, down at the restaurant, down at Boreo's restaurant, I used to make potato chips with my dad, or vice versa. My dad used to make potato chips with me and my brother and my sisters, and I used to make them with my grandmother, and they were this great little treat, this fun little thing to do. We probably only did it a few times a year, but they were fantastic, and they were delicious, and they're simple, and they're fun, and it's just a great, simple tradition to set with your kids. So I want to share that memory with you guys, and it's a great recipe. You guys can kind of add what you want. I want to show you basically how we do it with a little bit of, like a little bit of extra punch from Cooking Italian with Joe, okay? So to get started, we want to do 5 pounds of potatoes. So I took a bag of 5 pounds of potatoes, and I'll show you how to slice it, but I sliced it thin. I did it with a knife. You can julienne with it. You can use a food processor. All of those work. A lot of people don't have that. We always did it traditionally with a knife. By the time you do it with a knife versus clean up all the other stuff, it usually went about the same amount of time. So I got 5 pounds of potato, which I'll show you how to slice it, okay? And then what I want to do is I want to make some flavored salt. And this is a great little simple thing to do. It's a lot of fun. So I took a 1/4 cup of sea salt. Now I used a gray sea salt. So I got a 1/4 cup of medium to fine grain sea salt, okay? And then what I did is I took 2 cloves of garlic. Oh, roasted it. My whole kitchen is filled with the smell of roasted garlic. There's nothing more delicious. So I took 2 cloves, medium size, and I roasted it. I drizzled a little olive oil on it, wrapped it up in aluminum foil, hit the oven about 400 degrees, about 15 minutes. Absolutely perfect, okay? I've got 1 teaspoon, heavy teaspoon of rosemary, and it's dried rosemary, and what I did is I crumpled it as best as I could with my fingers, okay? So it's not, you don't want big, long pieces of rosemary. You want to get them down small, okay? So I've got rosemary down, and then I've got a 1/4 cup of finely grated, that's the key now, you don't want big chunks, finely grated Parmesan cheese. You can use Romano, you don't have to use cheese, you can use whatever you want. You're gonna get some oil going. Now ideally you wanna use olive oil, the gold olive oil, not extra virgin, or you want to use peanut oil. Those are the most common oils in Italy. They hold up extremely well. They don't add any flavor, but they're very, very healthy for you. So I've got my pot going here, 375. So my oil's ready, right? I got a rack, which I'm going to salt them with. You can use paper towels like a rack. And then I've got my strainer, my oil strainer, right? So guys, I always like to talk about our great quality ingredients. One of them is that Vito and Joe's extra virgin olive oil. Now, it's not something we're going to necessarily use today, but for those of you guys that are looking for a really quality, high quality olive oil from Italy, you get a bottle of Italy right in your own kitchen. And this is a bottle of olive oil that actually comes right from the Puglia region. I bought a farm a number of years ago. We make our own olive oil and we ship it right here to the United States. It's called Vito and Joe's after my 2 boys. It's grassy, earthy, it's got a little extra kick to it. You can go right on Amazon, Facebook, or on our webpage, Cooking Italian with Joe. We sell them in a half-liter or liter bottle. So that's my plug. The last ingredient here is some pepper. So we always want to do some freshly ground pepper, which we're going to add to the salt, okay? So what I'm going to do, the first thing I want to do is I want to prep the potatoes, okay? So this is the 5 pound potato soaking. So I'm going to set this off to the side. And the key here is you want to slice the potato equally, or as evenly as you can. You don't want it really thin and really thick because you want to cook evenly. So one of the keys of cooking, certainly, one of the keys is the cut. You want cut and consistency always as close as you can. One of the keys to cutting well is a sharp knife. So I've got a great knife here, and then I took a steel, you can hone it with some ceramic. You're going to just do a couple of passes. Now I've got my potato, right? Now this is my last potato. So basically what I want to do is I want to go in phase and I want to cut it about 15-20 degrees so it gives me a larger slice of a potato chip, okay? So we're going to just slice it right across. So I want to show you exactly how to do that. You're going to use your fingers. Now remember, the knife is sharp. So I've got my knife and I'm going to pull it back. See, I'm going to pull it back about 15-20 degrees, right? And then you're gonna see that first one, you know, we're not gonna use, right? Second one, we're not gonna use. But you start coming into that third, so you're just gonna pull it. That's all you gotta do. See, I just pull it across in a nice sharp knife. Now I'm not peeling these or anything, okay? I washed them off. Isn't that beautiful, right? Just pulling my finger back, just a touch to get that angle that I want. All right, so now I've got it. What I did is I took a strainer here, okay? I just took a colander strainer, all right? And then I'm putting the potatoes in the water. And you want to let them soak ideally for, you know, 15, 20 minutes. I always like to do a little longer than that. I'll do about an hour. And what that does is that, one, cleans the potato, any extra dirt or residue. It also pulls out or leaches a little bit of that starch. If not, they get too pasty and they don't give you a nice, clean, crisp fry, and that's what we want. So we want to soak them, then we want to strain them, and you don't want to put them in there wet. You want to dry them. Now they don't have to be bone dry, but you don't want them dripping wet with water, okay? While they're soaking, we got to prep our salt. Cooking Italian with Joe style. I'll talk to you guys in a minute. All right, so we're gonna make some magical Italian salt here. So what I've got, like I said, is I've got about a 1/4 cup of ground salt, gray sea salt, okay? Medium to fine, all right? And then, like I said, I've got my 2 cloves of roasted garlic, which smells phenomenal, my rosemary, and then my Parmesan cheese. So I'm not gonna add my Parmesan cheese, but I am gonna add my rosemary and my salt, to my salt, I'm sorry, and my roasted garlic, okay? So I'm gonna start with a fork. So you can see there, you know, there's a couple large grounds. So I'm just gonna mix it really well with my fork and break down any of those large pieces, okay? Then I've got my garlic. Now what's the key on my roasted garlic here? Well, you've got 2 cloves of roasted garlic. All right, so I'm gonna pop them both in there. And when you roast the garlic, what it's gonna do is it's gonna get rid of that sharpness to it, and it just deepens the flavor, essentially brings out the sugars, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is the same thing with the garlic, and it'll dry quickly. See that paste coming out? I'm gonna get as much of the paste out. You can squeeze it out sometime. Whoop, stuff so fresh is jumping out of the jar here. So you're not gonna necessarily get it all out, but you'll get most of it out. But see that, see the mush there? Oh, that's good. I like to get little bits of the outside in, the roasted skin. So that's why I don't necessarily just push the paste out. I think it just adds to that flavor. All right, so we're almost done. So now I'm gonna take some ground pepper, fresh ground pepper, and you're gonna put about a 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon. Nothing's better than black or a mixed peppercorn. Okay, I want to get all that in there. Oh, that's, I'll tell you, the smell of that pepper just alone is fantastic. All right, so I've got my salt. Oh my God, do you guys love roasted garlic? And then the rosemary, and the Parmesan cheese. So I'm gonna put these right over here to prep, because I wanna hit the salt and the cheese on the potato chips right when they come out. So I soak the slices, right? Soaked them for a good, like an hour or so, strained them, okay, and then I just let them set. So I'm gonna give them a little bit of a shake and just let them air out. And I'm gonna let them probably set for 15, 20 minutes, okay? And then as they air dry here a little bit, they'll be ready to throw in the fryer. All right, guys, it's potato chip making time. Boy, I'll tell you, just the smell in here alone takes me right back to the kitchen to my grandmother. So, all right, so the potatoes are ready. I got the oil going. We're right around 375 to 400 degrees. I'm gonna pop these in. Perfect. Well, the temp will come down a little bit. You might want to flip them depending on how they're at. Do not just throw them all in as a big bunch. Okay, throw them in individually, they're less likely to stick. And we're looking at about 3 to 5 minutes. Oh, it smells good. All right, here we go. So see how perfect those are? Those are absolutely, so that's my first batch. So now we just want to space them out as perfect as you can, okay? So that way when you hit them with salt, and you can always hit them with salt after, but it's always best to hit them right away. So now we're going to take our magical Cooking Italian with Joe style salt, okay? With our garlic and our salt, okay? And then I'm going to hit them just a teeny bit with the cheese while they're hot, Okay? And then I'm just gonna let them set. And then I'm gonna go ahead and hit my next batch, okay? So I've got about 5 pounds to go. I'm gonna go cranking on it. And I'll meet you guys in the end. We're gonna take some pictures. Favorite part, we're gonna taste them. I haven't had one yet. Talk to you guys in a minute. All right, guys, we're still pounding out about 5 pounds. Kids are all excited. I honestly have not had a chip yet. I'm gonna grab one right there. Oh, that looks good. Oh, so the kitchen is filled with roasted garlic as a flavor. All of them have been salted with our rosemary salt with roasted garlic. They all hit with a little Parmesan cheese and pepper. Oh, man, that smells good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a trip down memory lane right there for you, boy. Oh, my God. You know, a good wine, a beer, you know, some nice cold drink. Oh yeah. I'm thinking one of my maybe red roasted pepper panini, right? Mozzarella. Oh man, right? Maybe a little parma. And you got that rosemary just coming up in the background. Oh my God. With that plate right there, no problem crushing. Oh, man, that's good. Guys, thanks for joining me for such a simple, fun, easy Italian recipe. Don't forget to go on our Facebook or Amazon or on our website and grab yourself a bottle of Cooking Italian with Joe, Vito and Joe's extra virgin Italian olive oil. Don't forget to share some of our videos, certainly on your Facebook or on an email. Don't forget to set your own traditions and celebrate your own heritage and shut the TV off and shut the computers off and get off your cell phone and make a mess and have some fun in the kitchen with your family, guys. Listen, I'll tell you, love and family, that's what it's all about. Until next week, guys, mwah, bon
Full of
appetito.
fun seems to be the ideal